Well, hello everybody. Hey, it's Doug Rucker with Doug Rucker School, pressurecleaningschool.com and DougRuckerStore.com. And just wanted to come on real quick and talk to you a little bit about a couple of fittings that are important and some things that you need to make sure that you're doing. This is especially geared to new guys that are just starting out. A couple of the fittings that we use are called a plug and a coupler or quick connect, and these two pieces are going to of course go in like this and connect, and these come in both the 3/8 size, which are for hoses, and then you have the same things in 1/4 inch, which are for things like the gun. Pretty much anything from the gun forward is what you're going to use 1/4 inch for. So inside of these quick connects, there is an O-ring. I'm going to take a used one here, and down inside there is a O-ring, and we use a dental pick set that we sell here at the store. They come with various tools, but I always like to use this one with a little curve on it, and it's got a little blunt end, and I'll tell you what the blunt end is for in a minute. But down inside here is an O-ring, a black O-ring that you've got to get out. Sometimes when they're old, they'll stick down in there. But that's what it looks like. I just pulled it out of here. And these things will tend to wear over time, so you want to make sure that you're changing them out. If you ever start getting a leak at your gun or hose or whatever, or you hear your machine cycling, the pump cycling too much, going into bypass, a lot of times it's going to be because of an O-ring that needs to be changed. So we take and grab a brand new one, and you're going to set it down inside this hole. Now inside there is a little seat, a little round seat where this will sit perfectly. And so I get it down as far as I can with my fingers, and then I take the other end, the blunt end, because I don't want to use the sharp end and punch a hole in that O-ring, and I just kind of mash it down until it finds that seat and go all the way around, pushing it down and getting it into that little seat. And you want to look at it, and I can look right now and see that. You see how it's sticking out like that? So you don't want that. You want to make sure that you get in there and get that thing perfectly seated. Pull it up a little bit if you have to, going from the other side. Whatever you have to do, get that little O-ring perfectly in that seat. Okay, and then you'll be able to see right through it, and you can see the O-ring and see that it's not deformed or sticking out anywhere, and it's sitting perfectly in that seat. Okay, so that's one of the things that you need to stay on top of with the quick connect end of it. The other part that you need to stay on top of is, and real quick, there's two different sizes of O-rings. You got 3/8 and you got 1/4. And also there's two different types of O-rings out there, Buna and also Viton. And you want to make sure you're getting the Viton O-rings. They're about double, sometimes a little bit more than double the price of the Buna. But the Vitons are going to be a lot more chemical resistant, and they also can withstand a lot more heat, like up to 400 degrees versus about 250 for Buna O-rings. So make sure you're getting Viton O-rings for your quick connects. The other thing that you have to remember is when this plug goes in here and water's going through it, and we always have the water going through the plug points the way of the water, is the way we have our setup. Okay, these things kind of put pressure on the plugs get some pressure put on it from the ball bearings on the inside. So it'll raise this little ridge here where it connects. And sometimes when you take it apart and go to put it back in, it won't go. So what you have to do, a lot of guys will take a pair of channel locks and they'll just kind of file that ridge down a little bit so they can continue using it. What I like to do is just keep a little piece of heavy 60 grit sandpaper and take it and just run it around that ridge a few times, and that'll help file that back down so you can continue using that plug. Okay, so always try to keep some sandpaper or some channel locks. There's some other methods that other guys use. Whatever your preference is, doesn't matter. You just have to make sure you're keeping that file down so that you can use it. We have ours always set up on a ball valve. Again, our hose would come into here, into the quick connect, and our water comes out this way. Some guys set theirs up the opposite. I don't like the plug coming out because we have a tendency sometimes, if we use too much pressure or crank this too much, it'll move the O-ring and sometimes even throw it out of there. So I was just always taught from the beginning, years and years ago, that the plug points the way of the water flow. And so that's how we've got all ours set up. But a lot of guys use this end for the water to come out. Whatever you want to do, whatever makes you happy, that's fine. But you do want to keep these parts maintained. And again, we've got the little dental picks from the DougRuckerStore.com, these sets that you can use to help keep those maintained. Okay, so make sure you're keeping your O-rings maintained. We always change them about once a month, whether they need it or not. I'm big on preventive maintenance so that we're not down on jobs. Don't wait for them to start leaking and and then do it then, because then it's just time away on a job. So hope that helps you guys. If you have any questions on these things, just let me know. You can call or text 281-883-3630.